You'll notice here are there are a couple of kind of what we call poles here, where a lot of points come into, or a lot of edges rather, come into one point. Now most of the time, if you have a 5 pole where 5 edges meet at a point, that's completely fine. Here we have a couple that are 6 poles, so we got 6 edges coming in, and sometimes that can be something that you might want to take out. For instance, if you're using TurboSquid and you want to use, you want to become Checkmate certified, you'll want to remove those poles. And so if you need to do that, we can come in here and, for instance, on this edge, one of the ways we can do this would just be to take that edge out. So that removes that pole, and then we could come in and maybe connect that across. So we'll use line mode and maybe come across there like that. Oops, I want to actually come across like that. So we want to come across to that edge. And then I could take this point and kind of move it. Now it depends on the resolution and where it is. So if it's going to cause you problems with deformation, for instance, you have edges in the wrong spots, then what you can do is you can add more resolution to the arm, and you could remove that by extending edges going this way. Okay, but it's up to you. Let's take this piece. There's another one on the bottom if you want to get rid of that too, right there. But let's go ahead and move on by taking this hand, and I just want to put this in kind of position here. So let's rotate it around. Obviously we need to scale it down, S, to get a little bit closer to that. I'm just going to switch over so I can just use world mode to move this around here. And then again, I can kind of rotate this, get it in a rough position here. And the fingers, the position of the fingers aren't going to match exactly with the artwork, but I just want to get it kind of close there. So something like that. Really, you want it to look good here in your view. And we can kind of rotate it a little bit so the points match up a little bit better. Let's move it down a little so there's a little bit more room there. Let's take this wrist. I'm going to grab this, and I just want to make it a little bit bigger. Now, if you remember, we want to make this one piece first, and so we'll take both of these, connect and delete, and then we can take our edges. So we'll select the boundary loops. Let's do stitch and sew, and we'll just sew it together just like that. Then we can come back with our brush and kind of smooth it all out, right? Because you can see how it doesn't really match up very well there. So we can come in here, use our transform tools. If we have our object selected, that is. And just kind of smooth it out a little bit. And you can use, push and pull points as well to kind of get it exactly the way that you want. Okay, we can come in here and let's just use smear. And I can kind of pull this out, right, to kind of thicken up the base of the hand, just so we keep that thickness on the wrist. And just start to think of this as one seamless mesh. So I can kind of thicken it up that way. We need to bring back the thumb a little bit and kind of smooth this geometry out. So you get something like that. Okay, now for the leg, you just want to do the same thing that we did with the arm. So bring in a cylinder. And for the opening of the leg, you remember you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for the leg, we can make it 10 segments. So I'll take this down to 10. Add a few segments in the height. Oops, there we go. Take the radius down a little bit, and then we just can come in and match it up from the front and the side. And again, let's keep it on the same side, so we'll move it over here. And now let's just turn off the caps and make that editable. And then at this point, we just do the same exact thing. I'm just going to scale down these. Let's call this the knee. So we'll move it into position. Scale this down and move it. So just scaling and moving from in two different views is going to get us pretty close where we want to go. Move that over, scale it down. We'll do the same thing up here. Move this over a little bit. Now as we get closer to the top, we want to start to kind of rotate this around a little bit. Kind of like that. So I get that close and then come in from the side and you can see, I can bring the knee forward a little bit. Let's actually bring this back to get the shape of the leg. And we'll bring this forward. All right, so we want to get to a state that is similar to that. All right, so in the next lesson, let's take a look at adding the foot to this base